What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Staying Christian podcast, or welcome if you've never been here before. It's the Christmas episode.
It sounds really cheesy,
Yeah,
but it is. That's what this episode is.
It's about Christmas today. We're going to talk about it a little bit. If you've heard enough of this, then I guess mosey right along. But we might have some interesting stuff to say. So
Some things you've never heard before.
maybe listen.
Maybe not.
I'm Eli. That's Gavin.
What's up?
We run this podcast where we talk about God and being Christians and staying Christian in this
Hectic
slowly devolving satanic world that we're in.
It's
But anyway,
bad. It's so bad.
I won't bring you down with that. We're going to talk about Christmas because Christmas is awesome and it represents a lot of awesome things.
It also represents a lot of bad things, which is why I'm here.
Usually our roles are switched. Usually I'm the one bringing us down.
Yeah,
But-
not today.
Not today.
Yeah.
It's Christmas. I'm excited. You excited?
Hopefully this episode goes out before Christmas. If you're listening to this Christmas Day or before Christmas, kudos to you.
Christmas is at the end of this week. We didn't really think this.
No, we didn't.
through.
I'm gonna have to edit
Anyway.
it like tonight or something.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
We're giving this to you.
Peace, you guys.
Yeah.
Let's see how this goes.
When we think about Christmas, what are we thinking about? Like, what do you see, right? When you're like, oh, look at these malls with all these shopping things. Are you thinking about how depressing our consumerist culture is? Or are you thinking about the Christmas spirit, bro? And like giving and stuff. And how unique it is. Like, you know how everyone's like, Christmas is such a special time of the year. In fact, it's my favorite holiday. Like,
a lot of people it is.
a lot
it
of
seems
people,
like.
their favorite holiday is Christmas. Why do you think that is, dude? Like people who aren't even Christians right now. I'm talking about a lot of people
Yep.
who know it's all tied up in religious beliefs, but still they love Christmas over everything else because of the spirit behind it, the giving to people,
The joyful joy to the world.
and yeah,
Yeah.
and goodwill, peace on earth kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. So you could say it's like, oh, it's a spiritualism thing. People, whatever. But people who aren't spiritualist, people who are atheist, love Christmas. Why? I think it's got to do with the fact that even though some people aren't Christian, they can feel the giving spirit of God, of the Lord, His love to all of humanity, and that is represented fully through His birth and what that means. And even if they haven't heard the whole story, I'm sure they heard part of it at least. But they go, they see the love that's shown there. They see people giving gifts unconditionally. There's plenty of Hallmark movies, that feel-good movies, where that is actually portrayed in a concise and good way. Like,
Right.
It
It is interesting how, at least in the U.S. here, a lot of the Christmas culture is very much like you look at Scrooge. That whole movie line. It's all about being giving. You know,
giving.
and
I'm
looking
glad
out
they
for
got that
others.
right.
Looking out for others and not
Yeah.
yourself. And for that, I think that's what makes it kind of a significant holiday over a lot of other holidays, is because it's a holiday that like celebrates taking care of others over yourself. Give a penny for the poor man.
Yeah.
Give a half penny. If you haven't got a half penny, then God bless you, because you need
Yeah,
it. But it is interesting that it's a pretty merry holiday. It's a very happy holiday.
I mean, if you think about it, a lot of the other holidays are, I'm at your door, give me some candy.
Yeah.
I am, Thanksgiving.
Unless
is
you're
a bit of an
carolers,
exception.
you're like, I'm at your door, listen to me sing,
yeah.
and then
That's a
maybe give
little
me some
annoying.
money or something.
But I mean,
Ooh, I know what I'm doing.
then we've got like 4th of
Christmas.
July, which is have a cookout
Gonna show up at your door,
and deal with it. Like, just
I'm
have
just
a
gonna
cookout
sing.
and stuff.
me and Jaren.
You're going
Jared
to
and I.
carol my house?
We should come carol your house.
Please don't carol my house.
Oh, I'm 100% gonna do it. Put it on the Instagram for you guys. Follow our Instagram.
Anyway,
I'll post it on there.
I just want to say, I think it's going to do with God's giving spirit and His love to all of humanity. And if the church portrays that correctly, Christmas is only going to become more of a staple. People want Christmas all year because of how good it is.
Yeah, not me.
Well, we've talked about why we don't want Christmas all year, because you can have too much of a good thing. But the giving spirit of the Lord all the time, people are still surprised by that.
Yep.
Even though we're like, hey, that's what Christmas is about. They're like,
Yep.
But they're still surprised.
In some cultures, it's about something different, but
Yeah,
we'll hop into that
but
in the
here-
next segment.
Anyway, that's why I think people love Christmas.
The history of Christmas. let's talk about that for a minute.
Okay.
Been watching videos and listening to podcasts and reading things about Christmas all day today because I procrastinated to do this research till today.
I didn't do anything.
Like the
I was just like, Christmas is cool.
You know.
That's why I'm here.
Christmas actually, like, if you start to delve into it, there's not a lot of Christian origin involved. If you really dig really deep, actually, it was a sort of date, like around December, around the end of the year, is when a lot of cultures already had a celebration of sorts. You know, because it's like the time when you have the longest night of the year around this time. I think that was just yesterday that we had that. And it's kind of a rebirth is what a lot of cultures kind of celebrated around, you know, because it's the beginning of the new year. Now we're coming back into spring, we're coming back into summer, you know, so they had like this midwinter celebration to kind of lift spirits, and there was a lot of superstition and stuff attached to that as well. So there's a lot of cultures that have different traditions, and what we have today in the U.S. is kind of a combination of a lot of those cultures combined, right? So in this one culture, I believed in Germany, they had the tradition of bringing a tree inside. And it wasn't until, I believe one of the German princes married into the English thing. I don't know. They had a picture.
This is complicated.
Yeah, they had a picture
Yeah.
taken of them and the family with their decorated tree inside. And after that, it became really popular over there in Europe, in that whole area. Anyways, there's a lot of cultures out there, and that's like you can like the tree thing doesn't just come from that though. I think there's another culture that also did that as well, and then there's all these different things like witch balls attached to putting ornaments on the tree, and then there's also the idea of apples being put on the tree because someone decided that the tree represented the Adam and Eve, the garden, you know, it was one of the trees, and they put apples on it, you know, to symbolize that. So there's a lot of stuff. If you start to dig into the deep history of Christmas, and there's a lot of paganism and quote pagan holidays and stuff that really just are kind of nasty origins, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I was listening to a lot of these videos, and some Christians are like, never, I would never do that, you know, and then other Christians are like, oh, well, yeah, I just did Christmas, but I took out the tree because that's so weird, you know, and apparently in the Bible somewhere it says don't cut down trees and decorate them somewhere or something. Like,
Oh, I know
somewhere
exactly
in-
what that's talking about.
What is it talking about?
Oh, that's in Jeremiah. They're
Yeah.
talking about making idols out of wood.
Right.
But many people take the first part of that verse and they say, oh, it's saying don't bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So-
they're literally saying don't chisel,
idols.
don't chisel wood and
Yeah.
then cover it in gold and make an idol and pray to it. Like, don't do
Right.
that. They're
So,
not
yeah.
condemning Christmas trees.
Anyways, there you go. There's your explanation on that. But like, there's been this kind of celebration, and I believe like the Anglo-Saxons or whatever, it was called Yule, the celebration of Yule. You know,
Yeah, Yuletide.
And caroling actually originated as like the soldiers would go, or one of the origins. You know, there seems to be a lot of origins for all these different traditions. Would go singing to the townspeople to get money and food and drink. You know, and then in other places, mobs of drunk people would go singing, and if you didn't give them a drink, they would trash your house that night. You know,
Oh,
so
dang.
if you weren't,
So that's what you're
hospitable-
going to do to my house. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. So there's a
I'm gonna
lot.
TP your house.
100%. We want beer. Anyways, there's a lot of these origins. You know, that was a lot of reminiscent to Halloween. You know, they had that same sort of tradition in Halloween. And there's another tradition over in like Scandinavia where they have this log, because over in Scandinavia they're all into like the Odin culture.
Yeah, they're into Norse mythology.
Norse mythology, and some say that's where Santa Claus came from. You know, a combination of that, because he had like elves or something, 8 elves that helped drag his sleigh along, and there's 8 reindeer. There's a lot of weird parallels with it all. And then there's Saint Nicholas, you know,
Yeah.
who was an actual guy, and that's kind of where Santa Claus came in. And then actually, fun fact, Santa Claus, it kind of wasn't known what he actually wore until Coca-Cola made an ad with Santa Claus in white and red holding a Coke, because that's their colors, Coca-Cola's.
Yeah.
And that's when it became popularized that Santa
he
Claus
wore
wore
red?
white and red.
Huh.
So that was just an interesting fact. Anyways, there's a lot of stuff out there. And yeah, over in Scandinavia, they have this log because they burn it, and they keep a log from last year's burning, and then that was the old culture. In today's culture, they have this little log, and the kids will like feed it stuff for fun or something, and then apparently it'll
Like a pet log?
yeah, like
What?
little eyeballs on it, and then it'll quote poop out presents when they feed it little things. Yeah, exactly. That was my reaction. So yeah, it was supposed to be like a thing you actually an idol, you know, and I don't think it's that anymore. Now it's
Okay.
become more of like this kind of funny tradition. It looks like. I didn't really
okay.
dig deep into that, but I thought that was funny. Just like there's a bunch of interesting traditions around the world, and I could be wrong. If we have a Scandinavian person listening, then correct me, please. But anyways,
No, yeah, for sure. If I don't know something and I'm saying something, please say something.
Anyways, there's all that to say. There's a lot of these really interesting traditions that lended to our current Christmas traditions, you know, and an important aspect I think to gather too is that it didn't really have Christian roots at the beginning. However, like a lot of other holidays, the Catholic Church or whatever kind of took it and kind of twisted it and changed it into something, you know, that was more acceptable, socially acceptable, because back then they had a lot of weird traditions.
I
where
mean,
they
we do that
drank
now.
and
You know,
partied.
pastors are like, hey, Snapchat your church. You know, whatever. So,
Yep. Snapchat does not have good origins. Let's talk about that
does
for a
not.
sec. No. But anyways, I am not opposed to Christmas. I know a lot of people are, which in that case, hey, go for it. Don't celebrate Christmas. But the way I view it, because you look at all that, and I look at how I was raised. And how I was raised was mom and dad were like, yo, Santa Claus isn't real. You better come thank us because we bought this with our own money. And for the longest
wait,
time,
Santa's not real. Gavin,
Eli, I think it's time. Sit down.
dude,
Take a chair.
dude.
Yeah, they didn't. We didn't celebrate Christmas for the longest time, actually, and eventually we did. But I think largely we didn't because we were so stupid poor. You know, I remember one Christmas I just got one little like toy car with like it was a truck actually that hauled a trailer with a boat in it. It was like my prized possession for a full year.
Was it like a Hot Wheels?
Yeah.
Like
Yep,
yeah.
I got one thing. I checked my stocking every day of like coming up the week of Christmas. I was so excited.
One piece of candy
you
every
know?
day.
But like mom and dad, you know, they would read the Christmas story, you know, which is Jesus's birth, you know, and actually there's not anything really that indicates that Jesus was born at Christmas time. This is just kind of the church assigning something to it, some sort of significance, which I think is pretty awesome personally. Like saying, hey, you know what, this holiday that everyone does, let's just actually dedicate this to God. And let's dedicate it to celebrating the birth of Christ.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool, actually. You know, even though it may or may not have actually happened at this time,
Yeah.
this is a holiday that's now dedicated to the birth
the
of
remembrance of Christ's
Yeah.
birth. Yeah.
remembrance of the Son of Man. Anyways, we didn't celebrate it for the longest time, and then when we did, it became just this giving thing. You know, you make
Yeah.
gifts for the family. It was like this thing that brought us together. And as a young kid, I was enamored with that. Like I was so amped for Christmas. I'm also a big presents person as well, though.
Yeah.
So, and then the tree, we usually would try to get a tree just because it was, I don't know, man, it was just fun.
Yeah. I mean, the way I see the tree is like, even if there is some negative connotation from its origin or whatever, something I
Yeah.
don't believe in,
Yep.
I'm doing it because my family did it,
Yeah.
you know, and I have lots of great memories of my family. So I'm remembering my family when we do that.
Oh, you weren't bowing down to the tree and like worshiping it?
You know, I don't really like to do that.
Bro, what? Every night I bow down to my tree.
Yeah. I mean, I personally have a lot of great memories of Christmas, and I'm sure
Yeah.
most people listening do. But I mean, like my grandfather would dress up as Santa Claus in our hometown.
Yeah.
We would have this big thing in our museum, in the museum my grandparents owned, and then we'd have an actual icy road, and we would rent an actual sleigh with horses.
Yeah.
And they would actually pull the sleigh around.
That's cool.
And do sleigh rides around town. I love Christmas in my hometown. And so that's what I think of when I set up my house and put lights on my house.
It's a joyful time.
That's why. It's
Yeah.
not because I'm like, oh, you know what? Those guys that originally celebrated this, man, I love them so much. I'm their biggest fan. You know?
I wanna celebrate Yule and all these evil spirits.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So, you know, that's what I do.
Yeah, I think, and I'm bringing all this up because I kind of wanted to address the people that may believe that Christmas is evil and whatnot, and Jesus doesn't want us to celebrate it or something, which maybe he doesn't for you, but I know for me, it's always been like this harmless holiday that actually kind of reorient. It's a time of the year to look forward to, especially during winter when it's so drab and dreary and dark, you know?
Yeah.
And you bringing a tree into the house actually kind of brings joy. You get to look at that Christmas lights and you're just happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it always was for me as a kid. You know,
Yeah.
you wake up, you see the Christmas tree. It's something to look forward to in the middle of winter.
Yeah, because I know when January rolls around and everybody's taking their lights down and I'm looking around the neighborhood, I'm like, oh man, I am so depressed. This is so
Right.
sad.
Yep.
You know, and if it wasn't there, I don't know how I'd make it through winter, dude.
But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to address that because I listened to this video today and this one guy's like, I loved Christmas. It was the greatest. And then I learned that it had these evil origins and then I weeped and I repented, which I mean, maybe that was supposed to happen. I don't know.
I don't know.
But I'm like, hey man, take a chill pill for a sec. That culture has kind of shifted. Nowadays, it's not about that anymore. It never was. Like, that's the whole point of culture. You know, you take a tradition and you change it as you grow. You know.
Yeah,
So that's how I view it. Maybe someone's gonna send us hate mail for that, but
it's okay. You guys are entitled to your own opinions, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess you gotta be.
But anyways, all that to say, Christmas comes from a lot of weird roots. I have a lot of fond memories from it. And it's a really good time for me to reorient. And it's a great excuse to read the Bible, read the Christmas story,
Yeah.
read the story of Christ's birth,
Mm-hmm.
and remember that this was an insane thing that happened. God
Yeah.
sent his son to earth
Mm-hmm. To save us.
to save us.
Yep.
And we were in there is some like analogies, honestly. Like, it's the darkest time of the year, you know? He sent
Yeah.
us in the dark
Mhm.
and then calling us to the light.
Yep.
So.
Sent the brightest light at the darkest time.
Oh
Yep.
snap! Yep.
Yep.
So, anyways, that's my spiel on the Christmas history stuff. I guess I could have gone more into depth and more into science on all that, but there you
Science.
go. History, mystery, one in the
We
world.
don't care. We were just waiting for you to be done that whole time.
Okay, so Eli just said something off air that I think actually is worth repeating, and that's really essentially, and I'll let him say it for himself. Who knows if God was actually born? Jesus was actually born on December 25th or whatever
Yeah.
Christmas is. The point is this is a time that have an excuse to get together with family and friends. I'm tripping over my words today a lot.
Yeah. You
Anyways, get together with family and friends and just celebrate Christ's birth.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I was talking about just now with him off air was some of the stuff that we're looking at, these big claims about XYZ, like, oh, Jesus wasn't actually born on this day. These
blah.
Christmas trees are evil, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, does it matter?
Yeah.
Ultimately, does it matter? Because I know a lot of people who don't want to celebrate Thanksgiving because XYZ with Native
Yeah.
Americans.
Did they actually pillage the
And,
villages?
you know,
blah, blah, blah.
did the Puritans do the right? Were they actually this way, or is this a made-up story to make them sound nice?
Yeah.
But when I have Thanksgiving, I'm not caring about if it's an actual representation of the day or if it's the actual date anniversary of the time that happened. I know it's not, because it's just whatever Thursday in November.
Right.
You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not there to talk about pilgrims. Maybe the turkey and all the things we made came from these traditions, but I'm there to have a dinner with my family together and be thankful that God brought us through what he did, you know? And for Christmas, I'm there to celebrate Jesus's birth,
It is what you make it.
you know? And I'm there to celebrate it with everybody and all of that. So
Yeah.
I'm a little like about it because so many people are like, here's exactly what happened. Here's
Right, yeah.
you're wrong, I'm right kind of thing. And
Right.
I just showed a video to Gavin and we were like, ultimately this debate stuff doesn't matter,
Yeah.
because if you're there for the reason you should be there,
Right.
then it's a holiday
intentions.
to be grateful for and be happy about, you know,
Right.
which is where I'm at.
So if you don't celebrate Christmas, are you even a Christian?
Yeah, man.
That's what we're saying.
So we figured it would be a fun experiment to have a little bit of a story time.
Story time.
A Christmassy
Uncle
story.
Eli and Uncle Gavin.
So when I lived up in the snow-filled land of South Dakota, it's very northern. If you've never been there, if you're out of the states, then it's very north.
Yeah.
Basically, we have these big snow trucks that come through and salt the roads and all that and plow all of it. So there's a lot of snow. But I mentioned this briefly earlier, but my grandfather played Santa Claus in this yearly event that we did at the museum that they owned. And he would be Santa, and that's just how it was. And when we were growing up, some of us didn't know he was Santa. So, you know, we're just like, where's Grandpa at? It's like, oh, we'll see him later. Now let's go see Santa, you know? And so that was kind of the deal.
Right.
So one particular Christmas, me and my older brother, Zach, we both know at this point that my grandfather is Santa Claus. And so, you know, we walk down Main Street and we step into the nice warm museum. There's like hot chocolate and hot apple cider, that kind of stuff all over the place. And then there's a line to go meet Santa Claus. And my little brother Andrew is the only one who doesn't know. And so my parents are there. We're moving up in line. We're just chit-chatting, talking to my grandmother.
Oh, no.
And then my grandmother's there, right?
Yep.
And
She's not playing Miss Claus or anything?
No.
Okay.
no, she's the museum curator.
Okay, I got you.
She's like museum lady.
Glasses, half
yeah.
spectacles, whatnot.
No, not half spectacles. No.
Clicking heels.
No, no. But I don't remember if it was me or Zach, but Andrew didn't want to go see Santa for some reason. I have no idea.
Probably scared. Some kids are.
And so he just didn't want to. He wanted to go back and do something else. And we were trying to convince him, no, come and stay. So we said, come on and see Santa. And for like, I just knew, I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
He knows now.
No.
He knows. And I mean, we got through it. We got up there, sat on Grandpa's lap. It was a fun time, but I don't think he knew. But for a split second, I was so deathly scared that I'd ruined the magic for my little
When was it
brother.
ruined for you?
No, it wasn't that it was ever ruined. I
Right, but
loved
when were
seeing
you
my
told?
grandpa.
When did you figure it out?
I don't know. Probably when I was a little older than he was at the time.
So it wasn't like a big deal then?
No, it wasn't a
Your
big
brother
deal,
didn't
but we were trying to keep it a secret as long as we could for him.
Oh,
Because he's
okay.
the youngest kid.
keep the magic alive.
Yeah. And for us, it was like, we were kind of in on it. Like, oh, Grandpa's Santa.
Yeah.
And for a while, you could get away with, no, Grandpa's actually Santa.
Yeah.
Like, no, Grandpa goes
He goes to the
during
North
Christmas and he
Pole,
does
yeah.
everything. And you're
Yep.
like, what? But then a while, you're like, no, he's not doing anything. Where's the sleigh at? He's not doing that. Eventually you get it. But it was a fun experience as a kid to be able to grow up and have your grandpa be
That's
Santa
cool.
Claus. It was really fun.
So my Christmas story is one Christmas, and we dubbed it the Crappy Christmas
Oh no.
because the whole
I just tell a
family-
great Christmas story and
the-
you're like,
oh, I'm gonna bring it
mine
down.
was bad.
We've always had pretty poor Christmases. Anyways, it was a bad Christmas. I was living with my parents at the time. I don't know how old I was. I was so young. I was like 17 or something. I don't know. 16, 17. And we were all sick this Christmas. So we were just miserable. We all had like this terrible cold. Some of us had fevers. And so mom and dad didn't have a chance to go out and buy anything, None of us really had time to go out and buy because we were like sick for like 3 weeks or something.
Wow.
And so the night before Christmas, mom was trying to
all
cheer us
through
all
the
up.
house.
We had a tree, so that was helping cheer us up. We were all laying around on the couches moaning, and mom would bring us soup when she felt good enough, just like. Anyways, we were eating dinner the night before Christmas, and mom was like trying to be all happy. She's like, "Let's write a poem about Christmas," It's my mom, and so we wrote this poem called "A Crappy Christmas," So it was your standard. 'Twas the night before Christmas,
yeah.
and all through the house the kids were sneezing, even the mouse. Like it was a funny poem. We have a picture of it somewhere. Anyways, so we go to bed that night, and we're just expecting to wake up to just another old Christmas morning and nothing under the tree. And I think mom and dad maybe had like a few presents, and dad just felt really bad, go and wrap just a few. And anyways, my aunt had asked me to wait up late that night and unlock the door so she could just come put a present under the tree for like my sister or something. So I was like, sure. So I did that. And the next morning we wake up and I hear like Autumn and Naomi running around, my two younger sisters. And they're like, there's stuff under the tree. And I'm like, no, there isn't. And I'm like,
No
oh, wow,
way.
it was loaded under the tree.
Dang.
Loaded. And I was like, what the crap? I'm like, well, mom and dad must have been keeping a good secret, you know? And they're like, they walk out all blundering out because they're as surprised as we are. And they're like, what? We didn't do this. I'm like, yeah, right. You know, you guys did this.
Santa. Yeah, sure.
You know, and my younger two siblings, the youngest being like 7 at the time or something, she didn't believe in Santa at the time. It was just like, she knew. She's a very logical little girl. And so we were all really confused, like, where the heck did these Christmas presents come from?
Yeah.
But they were all labeled to us, so we opened them up, and it was like one of the best Christmases we ever had.
Dang.
And come to find out later, a bunch of people in our church had banded together.
Wow.
Someone had the idea, and they bought a bunch of gifts, and they loaded up our Christmas tree because Dad wasn't making a lot of money at the time, and we were all sick.
Yeah.
So it was one of the coolest memories I have of Christmas because it's
That's
like
sweet.
you felt really taken care of. You know, you're like, this is what Christmas is about
Mm-hmm.
right here.
Yep.
You know? So, anyways, it was a time when God come and touch my heart on Christmas.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
I don't know. Fun stories about Christmas. Yeah.
I'm just talking about, I had the greatest grandpa in the world. And you're just like, I had a Tiny Tim Christmas. Mommy,
what are we doing for Christmas? Anyways, Christmas stories with Uncle Eli and Uncle Gabe.
Uncle Gabe.
This segment is our Christmas music song segment.
Yeah, music segment, dude.
Yeah.
It's back, but for Christmas.
Music, Christmas edition.
Mhm.
Edition. Anyways, my Christmas song is Christmas Can by I'm kidding. Straight No Chaser. That's who it was.
Spike the Eggnog.
Who Spiked the Eggnog. Dude, actually that is like probably my honorable mention. Who Spiked the Eggnog?
Really?
Yeah. Straight No
Okay.
Chaser. I love that song.
I have that in my playlist.
I
It's
love
pretty
that
good.
song.
Yeah.
It's actually Labor of Love, Andrew Peterson. Shout out to my old man Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Peterson.
Oh, is that in the?
Labor of Love. It was not a silent night.
Is that in the?
Behold the Lamb of God.
Behold the Lamb of God.
Yep.
That's a great album.
Yeah, it is.
That's awesome.
Anyways, Labor of Love, it like has like these sad vibes in the beginning, but it like gives me goosebumps when I listen to it.
Mhm.
You know, it's like Little Mary. You get this really like cinematic scene of Little Mary
All alone.
all alone. Well, not
well,
really.
with
She's got
Joseph.
Joseph, and
Yeah,
now
and
she's
the
got
Lord, obviously.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you know, a donkey,
But-
probably.
But you get this more realistic view of what might have gone down in the
Yeah.
manger. You know. Anyways, I really like it. You guys should listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
And also listen to Who Spiked the Eggnog, Straight No Chaser.
They're great. So hands down, the best Christmas hymn song ever has got to be "Oh Holy Night." Just
That's like your opinion, man.
don't DM me on this. It's the best one. Best one. Okay.
Everybody knows.
And I love that one. I
It's
can't.
the greatest.
I don't think I can listen to it without.
Crying
Singing.
little tear comes down.
But no, that's not even my song. I just wanted to say that's the best one. So shut up. That's the best. But my favorite Christmas song has a story, but in it, that's why I like it.
Because
Is
it's the John Mark McMillan one.
no, it's no, it's not the John Mark McMillan one. He said he was gonna bring the John Mark McMillan Christmas song because he likes him.
psych.
Now. Anyway,
Broke his heart.
my favorite is Jingle Bell Rock by the Newsboys.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
By the oh my god.
Okay, let me tell you why though. Because
Yeah, do tell.
I started way back when I had other friends that wasn't Gavin, and they were way more cool than he was. We put a band together, and we played Jingle Bell Rock at this Christmas event here at my church, and it was great. We wore these same color pajamas and played it together, and it was just really fun, and I'll always remember that.
So it has memories attached.
So it has memories
you.
attached.
Okay.
And my honorable mention is "Lord Remind Me" by John Guerra and Pray Tell.
How did you squeeze in 3 songs there? Sheesh.
Anyway, it's just that one's about Christmas and God, and it's just
this guy.
great.
This
It's
guy.
main part is "Lord Remind Me" because it's Christmas and I want to remember.
I think I
And
just listened to that recently.
it's a good one.
Yeah. We're gonna throw all these on our show notes below, and we'll also throw a link to our playlist.
Yeah. And
we
I'll
have
put
that
them
we
right
never
at
update.
the top
Right
of
at
the
tippity
playlist.
top.
And I'll move them after Christmas. So
You don't have to. Yeah, we'll just remove them. Yeah. be
well,
fine.
I'll move them to the bottom.
But then people listen to Christmas music when it's not Christmas, and that's basically a sin.
Okay, don't tell me what is and isn't. Is it? We got the 10 Commandments.
No. There was an 11th, and it just fell.
Oh, it just
Yeah,
magically got
it just
erased from history.
Yep, pretty much.
All right.
So it goes.
If you guys want us to get rid of Christmas songs on a regular playlist about God, then I don't know what's wrong with you because playlist about God
now you're
needs
gonna-
Christmas songs.
You're
No,
gonna
listen.
question their sanity now.
No, listen.
I see how
it
is.
needs the Christmas songs because the Christmas songs are about Jesus and they're the cool ones.
I guess so.
They're the festive ones that get you happy.
They're cool at least in temperature, that's for sure.
Okay, Lord Remind Me can be played not on Christmas.
That's fair. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Jingle Bell Rock has to be played on Christmas.
Yes.
You can skip that one.
No other time.
But you pretty much are going to know what song it is as soon as it comes on. So just
Mhm.
it's just one tap. Is it that hard? Well, that was it. You're welcome. The episode's over. Thank you for joining us. This has been the Staying Christian podcast. I'm Eli. That's Gavin. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Hope you guys have a good Christmas. Yeah.
Overall.
I
Yeah.
hope this podcast serves as a reminder that Jesus was born. Let's remember that.
Yeah, he was.
He was born
He was.
and he died for us.
It's a big deal. Like I've been kind of like playing it off like, and
Yeah.
no, but it is. It's a big deal. It's a pretty big pillar in what I believe.
Yep.
As a whole. So, love you guys.
Yeah.
Christmas. Yeah.
Get with your family. If you don't have a family, maybe email us and we can meet up or something. I
Yeah.
don't
Just
know,
come
man.
on out.
Yeah, just come on out. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
You can come and you can be a guest on the
You know where we
podcast.
are, probably.
Yeah.
You can come over.
Anyways.
Just bring some brownies or something.
Yeah, 100%.
I got an oven. You can pick them at my house.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Right on.
Okay.
We'll see you guys in the next one.
Yeah. Enjoy some dessert food.
Yep.
Enjoy nice lighting on people's homes. Enjoy nice warm furnaces.
Yep.
It's cold outside right now.
It is.
I'm cold.
Take care of the people around you.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Yep.
Merry Christmas.
Peace.
See you guys in the next one.
Stay real.
Stay Christian.
Bye.
Bye. Some people aren't Christian, they can feel the giving spirit of the Lord. They will know us by our love. So bad.
You said it was fine.
Right, but it devolved into like pure like little
Insanity.
kid music.
Insanity. That was a train wreck, dude.
That was good. That's our podcast though. A complete train
Every
wreck.
episode. That was a train wreck, dude.
You know, I think people for some reason have it in their minds that, oh, you run a podcast, so you just think you're hot stuff. You think you actually have something to say. That's very, very wrong.
No,
for me.
I know. I come here,
like,
I'm like, I know
no.
nothing.
I'm like, here we are. Hopefully this helps somebody.